Today on episode 242 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, College Football Corner, Commissioner, the NFL Week 12 Pick Show, and the TCF Top 3 of the NBA In-Season Tournament Courts. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Today is episode 242. Make sure to find us on X at typical_Chicago, Facebook, and Instagram as well. Give those pages a like. For all of our content in video form, go on over to YouTube and subscribe there. Wherever you get your podcast, make sure you subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars, whatever you can do on those platforms. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF, and of course, the man that I'm joined with today, that is Zach at TCF. Zach, we got a nice little dose of the winter this week. That was fun.
Yeah, it's here. It's wintertime. You see the tree in the background. I'm fully Christmas.
Yep.
I don't even like Thanksgiving that much, honestly.
That's a bad take, but I like them both.
I like food, the food aspect of it, but anything else, it's just like, no, thank you. I'll see you in a month.
I like them both. I can't even. The food makes everything worth it for Thanksgiving for me. And then obviously Christmas is the best. And I got to give a shout out. My wife decorated our house on Wednesday, put the tree up and all the fun stuff. So I'm still very much
with the baby. It's a lot more fun too.
Yeah, absolutely. And the funny part is, we didn't know how he would react because obviously he was like 7 or 8 months old for his first Christmas. So he doesn't really remember or wasn't like up and moving when the tree went up. So we were a little worried about how he was going to handle that. And he walked into the living room for the first time and I don't think he even noticed it. And then finally, when I pointed it out, he was like, whoa. And then just turned around and was over
as long
it.
As there's toys, you don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yep. So hopefully for the next month or so, he can stay out of that thing. So we don't need that coming down. But yeah,
no,
winter is definitely here.
I wouldn't be counting on that, Boomy.
Yeah, he's done a good job so far. So let's just keep it going that way. Leads us into my sinker for sinkers and floaters. And that is snow. And I don't even mind snow that much because the way that especially this one went, like it was still like 30 degrees. I can handle snow in 30. It's when it gets to like snow in -10. But my real big issue here is the way people drive when even a snowflake hits the ground.
Oh, yeah. It's just, well, I've gotten to the point where I'm actually okay with people driving that way because it's probably saving a lot of accidents.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, and I don't necessarily disagree, but I'm like, especially when it snowed, what was it, Thursday or Wednesday or whatever it was, it's like, guys, it's not even sticking to the grass. Like, it's melting as soon as it hits the ground. And then
the thing is, it can be deceiving.
Yeah, but like, come on, let's get it moving. I understand. I'm should be more cautious, but like when it's not sticking, it's just snowing. Like we can drive.
Maybe
like
that's where we're coming from here. Is you need to be more cautious.
I can't even argue that I'm not a great driver by any stretch of the imagination, but like I think we can all agree if it's not sticking to the ground, we don't have to drive 20 and a 30.
Could be icy.
It's not. It can't be icy. It's 31 degrees and it's not even sticking to the ground. It's not possible for it to be icy.
I know, you never know.
That's not how science works.
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong guy about science.
Well, I mean, come on, let's use some logic here. If it's not sticking to the ground, it can't freeze the ground.
Well, you can still slide right into the ditch.
Not if it's not sticking.
I think you need to be more cautious.
No, I think people need to read a science textbook.
No. Oh, yeah, certain people.
Yeah, very much so.
I'm on the side of cautious in the snow. I'm going nowhere fast.
This is the time of year that I feel like I have places to get to. This is like the 1 3-month stretch of the year where I feel like I have places to get to on a certain time, and I feel like this is the worst time to have.
Pick the worst time of the year to be busy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Unfortunately, that's not ending anytime soon.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, fair. What's your sinker?
Oh, it was your sinker. I'm sorry. I thought we were just going straight into the. I'm a not the smartest human ever. My sinker is the NBA's All-Star Games new rules. They're making it like weird and longer. It's like, dude, these dudes don't want to play a full game. They're not going to want to play like 2 or 3 games or 2 or 3 versions of a game. It's like they're just trying to make it so people want to watch. It's like we should cater to the players, not the fans in this situation.
I don't disagree, but if we're going to cater to the players, they're not going to have a game.
But like, it just leave the one game. I mean, I think it was whatever they did was they like. Isn't it ever since Kobe passed away? They did the one where like at the end of every quarter, the points go away.
Yeah, they did the Elam ending where you had to like.
Why do we need to add new rules to it? Like, just let it be. These guys don't want to do this anyways. Well, they want to do it, but they're not going to want to play a bunch of random ass games.
Like the goal that they want is they don't want the NBA, obviously, not the players. They don't want the absolute lack of effort that we've seen the last 5 years because it has been like.
I just don't think that they're ever going to see like a real effort.
I feel like there's a way, but you have to offer them. I mean, you're talking about guys that make $40-50 million a year. You know, it's hard to incentivize them with money.
$50 million.
You're not going to incentivize guys like that. I at least like that they're trying something different because as much as I don't care about the All-Star game, I watch every year, but like it really has like kind of gone down in quality in the last 4 or 5 years because it's just layup lines. And I don't know. I think
All-Star games are All-Star games, and we keep changing them and this and that and trying to make it more exciting. It's like they're always going to be what they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I know. Like MLB, they tried changing it to the home. The winner gets the World Series and stuff like that, and blah blah blah. It's just like it just seems like as much as you put into it, it's so hard to motivate these guys in the middle of a season and stuff like that.
I will say that I think that Major League Baseball still has the best quality All-Star game.
Yeah, because it's one of those ones you go out there and you hit twice.
No effort baseball. You know what I mean?
You go out there, you hit twice, you pitch 1 inning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's so much different in basketball. You got to put a lot more energy into it, defensive wise and stuff like that. And
yeah,
hockey's actually pretty exciting with the stuff they do like before the skills competition. That's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. And the hockey tried it different. I want to say it was probably about 10 years ago. I'll be very honest. I don't even know what the format the hockey does anymore, but like they had done, I think it was like 3-on-3 games or 4-on-4 games from like a tournament style. I at least like that the NBA is trying something new, but I don't know how I feel about this, blacktop version that they say they're going to try, like pickup games. So
yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. My floater is kind of working off what I talked about last week with high school sports. Obviously, practice doesn't start, but this week, high school basketball games start. We kick off Monday night, and we've talked about it a million times. I follow high school sports pretty in depth, but also being a part of it in coaching. It's also a really good week because it's the first week of basketball games and then also the state finals for football this week. And I believe this year might be, I don't think it's at NIU this year. It might be in Champaign. So
it should be.
Busy week.
I think it should be like a Champaign or something nice like that.
They alternated them for a while. It used to only be at Champaign, and then there was like years where it alternated between Illinois State and NIU.
NIU's got a very nice facility.
Who does?
NIU.
Yeah, and Illinois State's has gotten really nice too. So they've got at least 3 venues that they've been rotating between that have been really solid. And Illinois redid their stadium a couple years ago, but
college football.
I like how Illinois does it. Yeah. Illinois, the state of Illinois does it where they have the 4 lowest classes on Friday and then the 4 big classes on Saturday. So you get 2 full days of really good high school football.
We already saw what we need to see. state champions last week.
Yep.
Or-
Shout out to the Amboy Lamoille, Ohio Clippers winning back-to-back state champs in 8-man football. I think that's another one we're still going to see continue to grow. I think they were at 32 teams this year. They added a couple teams, and as football's, I don't want to say popularity, but the participation in football continues to decline. We're going to see. I think even Texas does like a 5-man football
That's
because they have all these
sounds
really
insane.
tiny towns that don't want to give up football. So, Amboy, Lamoille, Ohio, picking up another bag. They've been to the state championship 3 years in a row and won the last 2. So,
That would have been kind of cool when I was in high school. So,
yeah, definitely a better option for these smaller schools that are trying to stay afloat.
even there's nothing wrong with playing soccer, though.
Yeah.
My floater does have to do with high school football too. It was I don't know what state it was, but they did it where they brought a helicopter in, dropped the football, and the 2 captains fought for the football, and the winner got the one that's coin toss. That's the new coin toss.
That very much reminded me, and I don't know if you would even remember this, back when the XFL first started back in like 2001 or 2 or whatever it was, their coin flip, they would put the ball down at the 50-yard line, and the captains had to run from the goal line and on a sprint and then wrestle for the ball at the 50. That's kind of what that reminded me of. They got rid of it when they brought the XFL back, but
I would go to a game just to see this.
to see the helicopter dropping the football.
Oh yeah,
that was awesome. Pretty cool. I want to say it was like in the
golf event,
state of Washington.
Remember that golf event we went to, and they dropped all the golf balls and.
Yeah, it was like a charity thing. So everybody got a golf ball number, and then they dropped them out of like a tote from a helicopter. And if it went in the hole, you won like $1,000.
And we did not.
I don't think anybody's went in the hole. Anytime a helicopter's involved,
or whatever at that point.
Yeah. I think anytime a helicopter's involved, I'm in.
It's like when you do the chuck a puck.
Yeah.
Those are funny though, because you see people in the front row just get hit by a puck.
We weren't even in the front row. The last time we had done one of these, we were in like probably the 10th row, and my wife got smoked.
That would not be good. I could see her taking that well.
Yeah, she was not happy. But yeah, I agree.
Pick it up and throw it and put your name on it.
More helicopters involved in sporting events.
Yes, for good reasons.
We can all agree there. Let's jump into the TCF Sports Minute. We'll get us started here with the Bears. Tough loss in overtime today to the Vikings at home. Hell of a comeback, but you fall short. Honestly, kept it closer than I thought they would. I'm not trying to be a hater here, but it looked, especially there in the third and fourth quarters, like it was not going to end this way. And the fact they pushed it to overtime, I don't know how you feel about it, but better effort
great,
than I
honestly.
expected.
I know this sounds stupid. We lost in overtime, but I feel great. The quarterback who we've been searching for so long, it seems like we had the quarterback. He's getting better. He's playing really well. He just broke the rookie passing yards for a rookie QB for the Bears, which I think it just took a little bit longer because people do forget. I do forget that he had a game that was like 78 yards to start the season. The progression on offense looks like it's there. Special teams, we got to do something, but that's one of those things. It's not like if we're fixing the special teams, I'm fine by that in the offseason. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. If that's on the top of your priority list, that's a good thing.
The blocked field goal right away, that was tough. That was real tough. Just kind of remembering what happened in the Packers game. But the defense, I mean, they played well.
Couple miscues though, giving up 27 to Minnesota. That's just feels uncharacteristic of the Bears.
Well, they should take a touchdown away because of the muff kick. That was just they put in a bad spot there.
That's
fair. But yeah, it's still. I mean, it's a good offense. I know they're technically on their backup quarterback, but I don't think Sam Darnold. It would have been a competition between him and
McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Yep.
But I'm excited for the future. I know it's a loss. You want to win. You want to beat the Vikings. You don't want to keep being on a losing streak. But it looks like we've got something with the quarterback, and that's
Yeah.
all you really wanted from this season.
Well, and especially like how things have broke down lately. Like you've watched the Bears give up. We've talked about this multiple times, and today was the exact opposite. We saw the Bears put up a fight and act like they cared, and despite the fact they're probably not going to the playoffs, put up that fight in the fourth quarter and push the game to overtime. It's been very different than some of the efforts that we've seen in late in games. And I would say with the Green Bay game shook down the way it did, but that wasn't due to lack of effort. That was just sometimes how the cookie crumbles. And I felt like this was a spot where the Bears could have easily just given up, and he marches them down the field and they get that touchdown, and then you let the chaos ensue. So at least that's a positive to look at. Like you could have easily, what was it, 20? I can't remember what the exact, was it 26,
30 to
13?
27.
Okay, so it was either way, it was under a minute and they were down 10. They could have easily just,
they didn't have to push for that touchdown there at the end. They did. And then they gave themselves a chance, which they are the only team in the NFL this season to get an onside kick because it's insanely hard. It's luck. They did get lucky. It hit off the guy's foot. I mean, that's what has to happen in these moments. But guess what? Caleb went out there with, I think, 20-something seconds left and threw the ball down and got them within field goal range. Like that takes that takes chances. I mean, that was a great throw. And then you kind of have to take away the Keenan Allen catch that his toes were right on the sideline, which was a great throw and catch. It seems like he has good I would say a good relationship with all of his quarterbacks right now. Yeah. No one looks mad.
Body language has improved.
Yeah. But what I also don't get is they talked about it. So there's a sideline camera, like a bouncer camera, and they can't use it because not every stadium in the NFL has it. What are we doing? What world are we living in?
$1 billion football league can't afford to put sideline cameras in. Give me a break here.
And Soldier Field has it. No one else, and not everyone does. Like that's also crazy.
The big one you got to check is if the Commanders have it, then everybody should have it because that's the worst stadium in the NFL. Yeah. If they have it, then everybody should have it.
That just made no sense. Like, we can't use that for replay because not everyone has the camera. It's like, that is just insane. We're in the NFL.
Yeah. $1 billion industry. Does it feel better going into Thursday knowing that you get the best team in the NFL on short notice? You know what I mean?
It's a good game for Caleb. I think it'll be his first Thursday night football or Thursday football game technically. So you're going to have to get used to that turnaround that you have that he's probably never done before. And it's just a season of first time things for him. And it's cool to see how he's progressing.
Does it feel like you've got a better chance playing them on 4 days rest instead of 6 days?
No, rest? I mean, it's NFL. I mean, it's just they're both on 4 days rest.
Yeah. And the Lions have been rolling lately, but I think
it looks like this Bears team is going to fight all season, even though they know they're probably not going to make the playoffs. They're playing for next season, and they're playing for. I think they really respect Thomas Brown. I think that he's really won over that offense, and awesome to see them go for it on some fourth downs that maybe they used to not go for. And I liked he's passionate. Shane Walden, you didn't know from one play to the other, his facial expressions were all the same.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a different vibe in the last 2 weeks. So at least I got that going for him. But yeah, big one on Thursday. Chance to kind of shock the world to be the only game on TV at the time, and everybody will be tuned in.
The only real reason I really want them to win is because no one likes losing streaks and stuff like that. And you don't want to go over in the division.
Yeah, absolutely. No, hell of a fight today, and start getting ready for Thursday.
Yeah, all you got to see is the fight. If the fight is there, that means that they care.
100%. You can build off of that.
I mean, people were saying, well, what if they lose? I think it'll be like 5 or 6 straight next week. Would Eberflus get fired? No, he's not getting fired. And honestly, at this point, what's the point?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially another divisional game. What's the point?
Yeah, at this point, you're I think 4-7.
Yeah.
You're not making the playoffs, especially how good the NFC is in your
Yeah.
division too. So,
100%.
but it was fun to watch. It's nice to kind of be on that same side. I know it's tough losing in overtime, but just to get there is exciting. You made the field goal, and it also shows you a guy like Cairo Santos. That's tough, dude. I mean, you got a blocked field goal to lose the game, blocked field goal to start the game, and
Yeah.
you're making 50-yard field goals to win it. Like that's not easy to do.
Absolutely. Resiliency for sure. It's
It's
it's not the
it's
same
a lot
old
of
lay down and
mental
die.
in the kicking game, and that is
Yeah.
not easy to do. And he did it.
And you're
So
seeing it all over the NFL too. That's the crazy thing. It's not just Cairo Santos who gets his kick blocked. It's the
no,
kicking's down over the NFL. So
these guys are so athletic.
yes, absolutely.
But when he did get that one blocked, I'm like, he may never get a field goal off again.
Yeah, that's just the yips that just live in your head and you can't help yourself.
It's just one of those things when it's like, okay, it just happened once. And when it happens back to back times, you're like, okay, this may just be
This
stuck
might
like
be a
this.
problem.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Moving on to the Blackhawks, Zach, they're now tied for being the worst team in the NHL. 7-12-2, 16 points on the season. I'll say it, and we don't have Maddie here to confirm nor deny. This is a major problem. Connor Bedard, I feel, in the limited stuff I've watched, is regressing, which is not what you want to see out
I
of
think he's
your
like
former number one pick.
12 straight games with no goals. He seems frustrated. It's just not what you want to see in the second year of a player who you were really expecting to become one of the best in the league.
Yep, and he certainly is not. Like I said, it feels like he's regressing. The coach has to go. But at the end of the day, like, is that going to make the difference in this team? I wasn't high on this team from the beginning. Obviously, you don't want a lame duck coach sitting around. We see it with other, Chicago franchises, but this is bad. I mean, they are the worst team in the NHL when they were, best case scenario was they hang around. They're improved. I don't think they're better than they were last year.
No, and with hockey, I don't understand it enough to understand if like the coach makes that big of a difference. That if they were to get rid of Luke Richardson, if it would make a difference in the middle of a season and stuff like that. But what they're doing right now is not good, and you just worry about. It's the second season for Connor Bedard. It should be getting easier, not harder.
Yes. Someone made a comment on TikTok I saw the other day that at first pissed me off. They said that Macklin Celebrini, who was the number one overall pick this year, will be better than Connor Bedard. At first, I'm like, dude, shut up. This is just stupid clickbait. And then I kind of went and looked at some of the stuff, and I was like, oh, I see why people say that.
Yeah, you can say that, but their careers are so long and they're so young and stuff like that. I mean, Connor Bedard's still 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that is true.
You gotta give him time. But the thing I'm worried about is just you don't want to ruin him with a bad organization, with a bad team, stuff like that. Because people forget before the Blackhawks magically got that number one pick and got Bedard, people were pretty down on this team.
They were in the race for the number one overall pick for a reason.
Yeah, and then they got Bedard, and it seemed like everything changed. And now that he's struggling, it's back to the same. Well, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it's
hockey, though. It's tough. It's a tough sport.
It is.
Never played hockey before, but I think he will get out of it and have a good season. But it's just worrisome you just hope that it doesn't have anything to do with the locker room.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you just don't really know.
Yeah,
right?
You don't know. But like I said, long season. If it's a whole season of it, you really get worried. But for now, it's just you hope. It's just like in baseball, it's a slump.
Yep, absolutely. Moving on to the Bulls, 7 and 11. They're currently the 8th seed. I mean, this is the same freaking conversation.
The perfect comment last night. The Bulls win a random ass game every once in a while. Like a game
Every
you
2
go,
weeks, they win a big game.
won. No way they should have beat that team. And then they go out and lose to who did they lose to last night?
Memphis got absolutely torched by Scottie Pippen's son.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only thing Scottie Pippen has got on Michael Jordan is his son is in the NBA. And torch the Bulls, but man, I don't understand this team. You watch them and it's just like one night they look different than the other night. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there's no consistency at all. I mean, you're seeing, their first round draft pick bouncing between the G League and
why would Billy Donovan even want to coach this team anymore?
I mean, he's a dead man walking, but I feel like we've been saying that for 3 years and he hasn't gotten fired. I feel bad. I don't think Billy Donovan's the problem. The roster
the Bulls just don't want to pay more people.
The what?
They don't want to pay more people. They want his contract to end and then maybe get rid of him then. But at this point, it's just like, why would we want to pay 2 coaches? That's just how Reinsdorf is. Forget
Reinsdorf owns because NBA money makes no sense. Doesn't matter if it's players or coaches.
Baseball money doesn't make any sense. It's so much money nowadays, and the White Sox are still the lowest. So why would the Bulls be any different?
Yeah, here's the thing. There's still the Eastern Conference is still bad enough. This team's going to be a top 10 seed. I don't foresee them falling completely off a cliff, and then I can get my hopes up in April that they're going to, win the play-in games and give Cleveland a run in the first round, and it's not going to happen.
No one's beating the Celtics or the Cavs. No one.
Yep.
I mean, even if they get in, no chance.
Yeah, no chance.
The only thing I want them to do this year is to get rid of Zach LaVine.
Who's going to trade him?
I know. I'm just saying.
You're going to get peanuts for him.
But what are you going to get when he walks away, too? So.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
You know what I mean? I understand you're not going to get a ton, but I think if he plays well and a team is desperate that's trying to make a run, then you could get something good for him.
Yeah, I hope so. I just want to see this completely torn down, and
it won't. It won't. That's the problem with both White Sox and Cubs. They're not going to be completely torn down. They're going to be trying to be patched and play okay.
Putting Band-Aids on bullet wounds.
Like a team that was maybe one of the worst. White Sox became the worst team of all time, right?
Yes. In modern
they have made 0 moves in the offseason.
Well, who's going to want to sign with them?
Or just anything.
Yeah.
Cut somebody or sign somebody, do something.
Yeah, I saw they got rid of Gavin Sheets. That was the big news I saw.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's the problem when you're the worst team in modern history. There's no free agents that anybody's ever heard of that are going to want to go sign to play for you.
Yeah.
Guys would rather go play in the Mexican League than play for the White Sox.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Looks kind of fun.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Stress-free baseball. That's that league. I mean, that looks fun.
Yeah.
What was even more fun? The Japan League.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, dude, they get like 100,000 people there a game.
Yeah, Japan and Korea have 2 really good leagues.
If you're like a player that just doesn't have it for the majors, I'm going straight to Japan, dude.
100%. Yeah, I'm not going to go grind it out at AA and ride on a bus everywhere. I'll go be a stud in Korea or Japan.
Yeah, make probably pretty good money.
Yeah, and just be a king over there. Absolutely. Before we move on, we got to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. I don't know if you know, but 3-time Gold Glove winner Ian Happ drinks Connect Roasters every single day. You probably should too. They work with him. They work with Dom Frederick, so you know it's good quality coffee. I can promise you that. Make sure to check out their website, connectroasters.com. Follow them on X at Connect Roasters. Get yourself over to Bourbonnais, Illinois. Make sure you visit the storefront. I promise you will not be disappointed. Make sure you check out Connect Roasters Coffee. So as always, big shout out to our friends over in Bourbonnais at Connect Roasters. Let's jump into the college football corner, Zach. We are nearing the end of the season. I wouldn't say the most exciting day of college football yesterday, but still some really good games. Ohio State proved that Indiana has played nobody and boat raced them. But I think if Indiana still finishes the season with one loss, they're in the 12-team playoff.
I don't think they are. I think they are done.
How? You're going to take a one-loss Big Ten team
because they're
and
not going to
let
be
them
in.
in?
They're not going to make the Big Ten championship, and they need that to be in it.
One loss in the Big Ten gets you in.
I don't know. Who have they played?
It doesn't matter. If you're 11-1, you should be.
I don't know, dude. I mean, that's you go off a strength of schedule.
I don't disagree, but they're going to let Big Ten and SEC teams have more power than anybody else.
I think if they would have kept it closer with Ohio State, it would have been a different story, but they got crushed.
Yeah. I'd be willing to place a wager on it right now that they're still in if they win next.
The thing about this 12-team tournament is so fun about it is usually, the top four is going to be for the
that's
tournament.
Usually
now
decided.
12 teams, and that 12th team can be anybody.
Yep. Absolutely. And not even to mention Penn State, who is also 10-1, barely snuck by Minnesota.
Yeah. Colorado, down goes Colorado. Dunzo. There goes a new spot for the tournament.
And then the biggest one I think of yesterday, Alabama, 3 losses now.
Dude. And it looked ugly. They got crushed.
They got pumped yesterday.
Yeah, Milrose was just running around for his life.
3 picks. He was 11-26.
I mean, but if you watch the game, he was. It looked like the Bears' offensive line. Like, that's not an Alabama offensive line.
That was bad. And I'm telling you right now, I think that Notre Dame, if they were in a conference with this record, would be a top 4 seed. They can't be a top 4 seed without a conference championship.
No, and that's absolutely. Nowadays, that's so important is that conference championship. And you think a school like Notre Dame, who is apparently smart, would join a conference or at least be in the talks for future years, because they're never going to get this. They're never going to get the respect
with NBC. They're never going to.
But I think after seeing what a conference championship game can do for a team, they're going to have to at some point.
We've been saying this for 15 years. And it's not going to happen.
It's never held as much weight now as it has before, because now, I mean, if you win, if you randomly win a conference championship, you could get a 12 seed if you don't have the best season.
I just think that deal with NBC for them is worth the money.
I guess it's always fun. I'd rather than not do it anyway, so I can make fun of them.
Yeah. And in the same breath, a team that everyone keeps talking about from, the group of 5 schools, Boise State really, really struggled with a bad Wyoming team and barely snuck that one out.
People need to realize this football is so hard, and to play it consistently,
especially on the road.
I know I was saying about with the Indiana game, but you got to look into it. They won the game. That's tough enough. Yeah. And yes, because the team may not be great, but this is college football. I mean, look at the NFL. The Carolina Panthers won the last week or a few weeks ago. It's like, anyone can win.
Very interesting one. Arizona State takes down BYU, moves both of them to 9-2, depending on what happens in the Big 12 championship. With Colorado losing, the Big 12 is just wide open, and I don't know what they're going to do with getting teams into the 12 team.
But I mean, who is your sleeper that you would like to see compete in the playoff and make a run?
Well, before yesterday, it was Colorado, but oh man, that's a good question. Honestly, I think. I don't know. Here's the problem, because in my brain, I go, I don't understand right now who's playing for the conference championships. But
yeah, because a lot of those right around 12s may not.
Here, I'll give you one. SMU 10-1 right now in the ACC.
That'd be fun.
I kind of think that their offense, they can get up and go, dude. I would like to see SMU in as an 11-12 seed. Let them see what they can do. Something about that offense just intrigues me.
I'm with you. I like to see the teams that are a little bit smaller schools that you're going to get a chance to play in a tournament like this.
Exactly. So
unless you're Notre Dame, you're going to get Notre Dame. is so lucky they don't have to play Alabama.
Yeah. Maybe not this year.
I don't know. I still
After
think,
what,
dude, Alabama. I
dude,
know
after
they
what
lost.
Alabama looked like yesterday, dude.
I know, but
They lost
still.
to a bad Oklahoma team.
The
Alabama
worst
is
thing for
not
Alabama
Nick
was,
Saban's Alabama.
yeah, because if it would have happened like 5 years after Nick Saban left, it'd been one thing. But the year after he leaves and you're this bad, it's just crazy.
Dude, and also another one looking at it, if Illinois doesn't lose to Minnesota,
Oh,
that's a 2-loss Big Ten team.
I know. That
And
would
they
have been
get
fun.
Northwestern next week. They better pump Northwestern.
Yeah, but they lost them. They did lose to Minnesota, right?
Yeah, that's the loss that's going to kill
Yeah,
them.
I know.
They
But
can't have that loss.
I do think Indiana did show that it would be tough for them to make a run in that tournament because, I mean, Ohio State's on a different level.
Yeah, but I think Ohio State and Oregon are the two best teams in the country. I think there's a pretty big gap.
I think Oregon could win it all. I know that's not
I
like
do
a
too.
crazy take or whatever, but dude, this team is built to just destroy teams.
Yeah, Oregon is really fun to watch.
If you're a team that's in the middle of nowhere and you still get people to go, you know what I mean? Like people are like, "Oh man, it's so easy to recruit for like USC." Well, try to get people to come to Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah, seriously, absolute middle of nowhere.
Unless I mean, you do get like every Nike product known to man.
Some good games though next week. Looking ahead, Texas A&M. That should be a solid game.
Texas A&M blew it.
Yes, they did. 100%.
I mean, that was bad.
Arkansas, Missouri. That should be a fun one. SMU finishes the season at home against Cal. They're going to be a favorite, but you still got to take care of business and give the committee.
What's it going to be like with an SEC championship game without Alabama?
I love it.
Isn't that crazy? I wonder how many years.
I love it. It's a thing of beauty. And then obviously Michigan, Ohio State doesn't mean what it used to, but still a pretty good game.
What was it? You beat Georgia by 3 touchdowns just to lose to who was
Vanderbilt.
It?
Vanderbilt, yeah.
What was that? Was that who played Florida yesterday? Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Yep.
They beat Georgia by 3 touchdowns, right?
Yeah, I think it was
just
2
to
or
lose
3.
to Florida.
Yep.
Florida, and I did find out. So, okay, when I was talking to you yesterday, there was a kid that played at Florida that transferred to Ole Miss, and like he ran out. He must have gotten mad at somebody made a comment about him, and he ran out into like this, like where people were leaving the game, and like tried to confront somebody. It's like, what are we doing?
Yikes! People are nuts, dude.
Well, yeah,
especially for SEC football. Yeah, it was a hell of a win by the Gators to get bowl eligible, despite the fact they're awful.
Bill Napier has, I think, saved his job.
Yeah, somehow the guy's a moron, and
but hey,
still gonna be.
He's a moron that beat.
Doesn't matter. A blind squirrel finds an acorn. He sucks, and he needs to go. Don't even start that. You can't be a coach at Florida University and win 6 games a year. Sorry, but this isn't
when you beat Ole Miss, you saved your job.
He should have been fired 2 weeks ago and not even had the opportunity to coach in this game.
Well,
you can't win 6 games in the SEC and think you've done something.
Oh, for Florida too.
This ain't Conference USA.
That's kind of rough.
I don't care. He's got to go.
They're good teams.
No, they're not. Moving on, we got a new one here, Commissioner. We've done this in the past. It's been probably at least a year or so. We're going to get Commissioner roles in every major league, and we're going to fix each sport the way we want to. So let's start off with the king, the NFL. I'll start off here, Zach. I talked about this, I think, last week or maybe the week before. 18-week season, 2 preseason games, 2 byes. Super Bowl is on Martin Luther King weekend. Everybody gets Monday off.
I mean, I think that's one that's going to happen.
Yep. Let's set it up for next year. Let's go. Everybody knows what it should be. Let's get it going.
My rule is we're going back to the old way we used to kick off. We're done with this bullshit. Stupid changing it like 2 or 3 times. We're going back to when Devin Hester used to just run back things.
I love that. The new one, what were we in?
You're
Week 12,
frozen
and I'm
in
still
time until the
confused by
ball
it.
touches the ground, until the ball is whatever, but you never get past like the 30-yard line.
Yep.
Stupid.
I like that one a lot. I agree. Let's do MLB next. You got one for MLB?
Oh, I've talked about this. You should be able to check swings.
I think that's coming.
That's what I'm saying. I think they should. I mean, that's of all the things we can test, or we can replay. We can't replay a check swing, which is like one of the most controversial things in baseball.
I agree. All right. Mine is
really
kind of
slow the game down. That would really slow the game down.
Outside of automated umpires. And I really like the balls, the strike zone challenge system in AAA.
I've heard they're going to do that in spring training.
I'm a big fan of that, but I've got another one for you. I'm going to knock the season down to 150 games. Okay. A couple more off days. But on those off days, I don't remember if you ever watched the show on ESPN Classic. They used to have a show called Home Run Derby.
Oh, yeah.
Remember this? They had like Mel Ott and all these old timers out there. And once a week, 2 guys get selected. They fly them to wherever, and they compete in a 1v1 home run derby for a show that gets aired on the off day. Maybe everybody has Thursdays off.
You know, they should do that in the off season. Just bank them.
Oh, yeah. Or
just film it the week before. It would just get hard. These guys nowadays are so like, they do everything the same.
Or you will look at the schedule and you say, the Yankees are playing the Red Sox. We'll take the 2 best home run hitters. They play on Friday to start the series. We'll film it the day they're here because they're already here for the series. Then we'll bank it for next week. So we're going to knock the season down a little bit, but then we're also going to bring back the old show Home Run Derby.
I like that.
All right. Basketball, NBA.
I think they should make games shorter.
10-minute quarters.
Yeah, because I mean, all you complain about is these guys, and they play too much. They're getting older. This and that. We get a lot of time management. I think you'd make it 10-minute quarters. I
like that, and I will also add no back-to-backs.
Yeah, because if you think about it, then you start saying, okay, the scores are going to be different. And that's what's going to happen. Who cares?
And also the other one that I had
written, there was a game that 275 points was the total. 270, and it was the Bulls game last night.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. I'll also add to this. We've talked about it a few times with like instant replay and stuff like that and challenges. You should be able to challenge fouls. Get easily. AI on it or something. Not Allen Iverson. No, but like every foul. Every foul is,
like in baseball where you go over and you check the phone. Do we do it?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we need to get rid of that. We have artificial intelligence. They should be able to have a decision in seconds.
I was actually the coach go.
Yep. Like immediately. What do we got left? NHL.
They should force Patrick Kane to only be able to play for the Blackhawks. I don't even know if I know the real rules of hockey.
Here's mine.
I think we're gonna get rid of the ice.
That came to my mind, but also this: offsides doesn't exist anymore. You want to cherry pick? Go ahead.
That's my same rule for soccer too. If we did soccer. Dude, offside.
If you want to cherry pick, that's fine, but you're going to play 5-on-4 on defense.
As a defender, it's all about you get into that's how you get them.
And also, just because they want to be difficult, can we just do quarters in hockey like every other sport? Why do we have to do 3 periods?
I think it makes the game go faster, honestly.
Okay, then do 2 halves. Suck it up.
Soccer does it. Soccer don't stop for nobody.
Yeah, I mean, 3 periods, that's an odd number. That just feels weird still.
Can we do soccer?
Sure.
No more extra time. Fuck extra time. I hate extra time. I think it's just, when I played, it was the stupidest stuff. Like usually they wouldn't do it in high school, but if they did, they'd be like 3 extra minutes. Where are you getting that from?
Yeah,
You just made
it's
it
all
up.
subjective.
Oh, they get 5 minutes. Well, one of the players was injured for like 20 minutes, so we gave him 5 extra minutes.
Here's my addendum to that. If you get hurt on the field, play continues. Coaches can come out and drag you off, but the
That would
play's
be
going to
funny.
continue.
Because in soccer, there's so many guys who are just faking it too.
Yep. If you want to go
Unreal.
down, and I'm sorry if you're actually injured, but like if you want to fake it, you have to wait. Like the play's going to go on while the medical team attends to you.
I like that.
So get off the field.
I mean, unless you're really hurt, like you could tell when somebody's really hurt, then you can,
Yeah, but
you can kind of call a timeout or something. But like when these guys go down, like, oh, I got kicked in the shin, we had to have a shin guard on.
suck it up.
Soccer just is tough to watch sometimes. I like soccer,
Yes, it is.
but the
And
way
also,
that they
stop
fake
ending games and
injuries.
ties.
Yeah,
Every game, I don't care how old soccer is, how long it's been around, there should be no sporting event that ever ends in a tie. I don't
it's like
care if you have to
hockey.
play till the sun comes up the next day. Someone
Or
needs
just,
to win the game.
or just do what hockey does. Just go to PKs
Yes.
right away.
Go to a shootout. I don't care. Stop ending
Yeah.
in ties.
Yeah, that's what is annoying.
Let us know what
Like
your
time
guys'
for a
takes
tie.
are. I think our ideas are great. Let us know what you guys would change. Let's jump into the NFL Week 12 pick show. Big week for me and Maddie last week. We're closing the gap on Zach here. Maddie went 6-0. I went 4-2. Zach went 3-3. Not even a bad week for you, Zach, but Zach is still in first place at 34-32. I am right on his heels at 33, 31-2. Maddie at 25, 40-1. Who do you got for the noon game, Zach?
I got Patriots plus 7.5 at Dolphins. I think Drake May's playing well. I think they'll keep it within a touchdown. And I got Bucks -6 going into New York. What is it? Tommy, whatever. I don't care.
Tommy DeVito.
They still suck.
Yes, they do. They are very much a dysfunction here. All right. My first one I'm going to take, I'm probably buying in too big. I'm going to take the Lions -7 at Indy. I just think the Lions are the best team in football right now.
I do too, but that's just so many points in a game where the other team's not that bad.
Yeah, but the game starts in 27 minutes when we're recording this. Who's starting? Anthony Richardson,
Anthony Richardson,
Joe
I'm pretty
Flacco.
sure.
Yeah, but that's like
He played
they're
well last
dysfunction
week.
too.
Come on.
Huh?
He played well last week.
They're still going against the best team in the NFL.
I know. It's just on the road with a touchdown, but they're playing in another dome, so it's like being at home.
Yep, exactly. My other one that I'm going to take, and this is probably really, really stupid. Give me the Cowboys +11 at the Commanders.
Not garbage.
But
no, I'm just saying
I
that
know
whole
the
game.
Commanders are better, but at the end of the day, they're still the Commanders. And 11 points,
point line.
That's a huge line.
Just that's
Cowboys.
Cooper Rush. Maybe who they trade for from the 49ers? Trey Lance.
Trey Lance, yeah.
I
just feel like 11 points in a division game. I know the Cowboys are bad, and I know the Commanders are improved, but 11 points is a lot in an NFL game.
Yeah, it is.
Moving to the afternoon, again, we talk about this every week. 3 games to pick from.
So stupid.
Stupid.
I'm going Broncos -5.5 at Raiders. I'm not a big fan of Bo Nix, but he's playing well.
Yeah, and the Raiders are awful.
And 49ers +5.5 at Green Bay. I just think that the 49ers are the boogeyman to the Green Bay Packers.
Who's starting for the 49ers?
Brock Purdy, isn't it?
Nope.
Oh, is it not?
No, Brock Purdy is out, I believe.
That would make sense of why it's 5.5.
Yeah, it went from 2.5 to 5.5. Just out of principle,
you didn't give me much to go from.
Just out of principle, I have not taken Green Bay at all this season, and I'm going to stick with that. I do think they win. I don't know if it's a big game. Even if Brock Purdy's not starting on the road, or no, I'm sorry, that is at home. Either way, I'm not going to bet on the Packers. Give me the Cardinals -1. I think that Arizona is the best team in the West. And Seattle just every time I bet on Seattle, they suck. So I'm not even going to bother touching it.
There's
And
500
then I'm
as
also.
it comes.
What'd you say?
There's 500 as it comes.
Seattle, 100%. Yep. And they're just inconsistent. But I'm also going to ride with you. I don't like this because I find it hard to take such a big number on a rookie quarterback. But there's nothing about the Las Vegas Raiders that gives me any confidence to cover a touchdown.
They have nothing.
Nothing. And I think, unfortunately, Antonio Pierce is a lame duck coach. I think he's going to be fired.
Yeah, not his fault.
Yep. So give me the Broncos plus 5.5 there. Sunday night, we got the Rams, we got the Eagles. God, the Eagles are playing really well, so that worries me.
I'm going Rams +3 at home against the Eagles. I mean, Matthew Stafford's been playing well. And the Eagles they're due for a bad game.
You're going to take the Rams?
Sunday night and Monday night, both at SoFi.
Oh, that is interesting. I didn't even realize that. I will take the Eagles. I think the Eagles are one of the hottest teams in the NFL, and I really do like the Rams. But for the sake of trying to close the gap between you, I'm going to go ahead and take the Eagles here. That feels like it's going to be a really tight game either way. So 3 seems about right. Monday night, Ravens at Chargers, the battle of the Harbaughs. The Ravens are 2.5-point favorites. Who do you got?
At Ravens. I'm so tired of Jim Harbaugh, dude. I'm so tired of it.
Is it because you wish the Bears would have hired him?
No, I'm tired because people keep saying that.
I know. I just had to toss that.
People keep saying, maybe let's say Jim Harbaugh's here, we're going to Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. Dude. But no, Ravens,
I will take the Chargers. I like Jim Harbaugh. I know you hate him. I love the guy. They're doing things well. The Chargers are playing well.
I know he's doing it like that's his personality, but I just don't like it.
I understand. I get it.
The Ravens are just better, I think, than the Chargers too.
Haven't played like it lately, though.
They got it in them.
We'll get Maddie's picks put in here, but let's wrap things up with the TCF top 3. We've talked about this last week. We got the NBA in-season tournament going on Tuesdays and Fridays. So we are going to pick our top 3 courts as you see on the screen. Do you want to go first or do you want me to?
I'll go first. I know but the Bulls is really cool. If you think about it, just like that red, even though, the Rockets and Bulls are pretty much the same exact thing.
Yeah, they pretty much are.
And then that's you then.
Okay, so you took the Bulls. Give me Raptors. That purple court with the logo in the middle. I will take the Raptors here. Also, the only purple court.
Damn, that is sweet.
They are all very, very similar. So it's really just a matter of like what appeals to your eyes.
Yeah, they're too much different for teams.
Which I'm perfectly okay with. Last year was a little chaotic.
Yeah, a little.
Give me the Suns. I like that, the orange and black. There's only 2 orange courts, and I like theirs more than I like the Knicks one. So give me the Suns. That orange and black looks good.
I'll go with the Hornets.
Yep.
I like that powder blue.
The teal, yep. With the purple outline. That's a good choice, too.
And I like the Hawks, the gold.
I was actually thinking that one, too. There's like 4 yellow ones, and I think the Hawks might have the best.
Who's the top left?
Top left? That's got to be Minnesota.
Let's see. It's weird.
I'll go Minnesota. I like that lime green. Kind of like how you had the
different.
It is, and I agreed with you on the Charlotte one because that's the only teal one, and I know there's one other green one but there's no like lime neon green, just like the Timberwolves ones. So I will take any other ones you would put in your honorable mention.
Who is the East B bottom team? Detroit?
That's Detroit.
I like that.
Yeah, that one's good. I
They
also
got
kind of like
on the court, it says Detroit. That's kind of cool.
yeah, that's a good one. I like Brooklyn's just because their pattern is different than everybody else's.
They got the skyline in the back.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that one. That one's cool. Where I had one other one, I'm losing. The Lakers one, I'm obviously a fan of purple and yellow, and I thought they did that one really well.
Does the Pacers court really say "boom, baby"?
Pacers. Where am I
East,
at? Yes,
East
it does.
B. That's it.
Yes, it does.
Okay, that's the worst. That might be the worst one.
And here's the thing: I really like Milwaukee's for what's the background in the 3-point line with the deer antlers, but I don't like the blue and black.
One I wish I would have picked is the Celtics. That's pretty cool too.
I out of principle and hating the Celtics.
Well, I know, but
did not print.
See, it's another one that's just the only one that's really that green.
Yeah, it is. Don't get me wrong. Green and black is a good color combination. I can't even argue.
Nets, Jazz, Sacramento, you should be fine. And Magic, you're all using the same color. Come on.
Yep. I agree. Some of them got kind of. I think they went so far to like chaos last year that some of them tried to come back to earth.
I bet you some people were like, who work at the stadiums are like, dude, we got to put this together every Tuesday and Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Well, most places have to do that anyway with hockey. So,
but I know, but like a whole new court.
Yeah.
But I guess, I mean, I
will say this.
There was the Bulls court game turned into the Blackhawks. It was pretty cool.
Yes, I will say this though, Zach, and I think you might agree with me. I think this year's courts are better than last year's courts.
Yeah, just because it's less.
They just had the stripe running through the middle.
Less is more.
Yes, I agree. That's going to do it for us here at Typical Chicago Fans. We thank you guys, as always, for joining us. Make sure that you find us on X at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook, Instagram, give those pages a like as well for all of our content in video form. Go over to YouTube, subscribe there. Subscribe, rate, review wherever you get your podcast, 5 stars, whatever you can. Tell a friend, tell a couple more friends. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF, Zach over at Lilia TCF. Maddie's not here, but give him a follow at schools_01. We appreciate you guys joining us. This was episode 242 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.